Hey Guru Nation, thank you very much for watching. Just did a really long podcast, like 40 minutes long, on random musings from the Clinical Trials Guru. The video should be uploaded as well here on this YouTube channel. It's long, and like the title suggests, it is random. We get into a lot of random things. But one of the important things I wanted to talk about, which did come up in the podcast, is using clinicaltrials.gov for sites looking for more studies or for job seekers. So whether you want to be a CRA, whether you are a CRA, whether you're a CTA, whether you're a project manager, whether you're a study coordinator, job seekers looking for careers in this industry, you can use clinicaltrials.gov as well. So we have someone who's new to our company here, Global Clinical Trials. His name's Jesse. He was the person I was interviewing. Look, I've been preaching this stuff for 7 years on YouTube. Use clinicaltrials.gov to get studies. Recently, someone I interviewed, Jenny from Bench to Clinical Research, she talked about using clinicaltrials.gov for job seekers. So it's just the same thing I've been saying for studies, but for jobs. I've never used it as a job seeker, but I know it works. I know from other people that it does work, and I definitely know that it works for getting studies. So in a nutshell, here's what it is. You go to clinicaltrials.gov, you search. Now remember, this is not a website designed for research sites to prospect sponsors and CROs for studies. That's not the purpose of clinicaltrials.gov. It's not designed for job seekers. It's not Career Builder. It's not Monster. You're right. It's not a website designed for job seekers to pitch potential employers about hiring them. That's not what it's for. But that doesn't mean you can't use it for that. And it works. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, you go on clinicaltrials.gov. If you're a research site, you type what indication you want to do. There's different filters. And you go to town. You go get the contacts. Most of them won't have the study contacts in the clinicaltrials.gov. Some will. Most won't. I would say about 25% do. 25% of the time you'll find someone's contact and phone number and email address. 75% of the time you won't, and that means you're going to have to do some investigating on LinkedIn, or you got to use a program like ZymeWire to find those contacts, which is what we use at my consulting company. But you basically message 100 people in a week. If you're a job seeker, 100 in a day, because it's much easier to find contacts if you're a job seeker, because you're not limited to specific therapeutic indications, unless that's all you want to do as far as being a CRA. But you shouldn't. If you're trying to break into the industry or trying to get a job somewhere, like upgrade your position, one level up, you really would want to take any job that you can get that's meets your criteria. So it doesn't matter about therapeutic indications. But for research sites, email 100 a week. Jesse did this. You can watch the full interview if you want. Jesse emailed for one of our sites here in Irvine 200 sponsors in 2 days. So, and only took him an hour each time. Guess what that produced? It produced 5 CDAs, it produced 2 feasibility surveys, and it produced a site selection visit that we're going to be having very soon here. So it works. If you're a job seeker, you have even less of a selection criteria. You don't even need to type any medical condition. You just start looking at clinicaltrials.gov. It updates every day. You can put the active, not yet recruiting studies or not yet started studies, and you can apply there, because if a CRO or a sponsor just started a new study or is planning on starting a study and just registered something on clinicaltrials.gov, that may be a little hint that they're looking to hire some people for that study. And yeah, they'll go the traditional routes of looking at Career Builder or having their own headhunters look for people. But if you approach someone, and if it's a numbers game, if you as a job seeker are emailing 100 people a day from clinicaltrials.gov, that's 500 a week. That's 2,000 a month. There is no way at the end of that month you're not going to have at least one interview. You're going to have much more than that, and that puts you so much further ahead than anyone else who's just sitting at home doing nothing or watching Netflix or whatever the case may be. Same thing if you're a research site. If you're complaining that you don't have studies, go on clinicaltrials.gov. Look for them. Get ZymeWire. Go on LinkedIn. Network with people. Keep applying. Yes, you are going to get ignored 95% of the time. They might even hit the spam button, they might hit mark as abuse, whatever buttons they're allowed to push, they're going to do it. But you don't care about those, because for those 5% that will reply to you, half of them may not be interested, half may be interested immediately, and some of those might be interested, or 25% of those might be interested immediately, and the other 25% might be interested sometime later down the line. So guess what? When we got our site selection visit because of Jesse's activities 2 weeks ago, we have an SSV scheduled. Do you think I asked him, or we care how many people ignored his email? No, let them ignore. You don't care about that. You're looking for results. And results are, you're not going to get any results unless you do this. You have to constantly prospect. I don't care if you're a research site. I don't care if you are a job seeker. How do you think you're going to get opportunities if you don't actively pursue them? And yes, you're going to get rejected most of the time, and people are going to hate it, and people are going to think it's annoying. Tough for them, okay? Because you need to get results. Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Thanks. Take care.